Alright guys, this is going to be a cool tutorial because I'm going to show you guys how to build a very simple program where you can download an image from the internet. So the first thing I want to do is import that random again, and that's because whenever we download an image, we're going to be giving it a random file name and saving it as that, because we don't want let's say we were downloading like all the homepage images. We don't want a bunch of files named homepage.jpg in our directory. So I'm going to give each one a random name, and whenever we build our web crawler, that's what we're going to do as well. And we're also going to be importing URL lib.request. Now this is a package that allows us to get data from websites pretty much. That's a really simple explanation. And also I want to mention this. If I'm ever using a module that you're like, oh, hold on a second, you didn't tell me how to get that, or where I'm supposed to get that from, or what it does, I'll explain that right now. Whenever I have a module in here that you're not familiar with, go to File, Settings, and then if you go to your Project Interpreter, these words are hard to say, Project Interpreter on the left, what you can do is, this is the section that allows you to download modules from the internet. So these are the ones that I downloaded right now. So say that we wanted to add another one or install another one. Click this little plus button and you can search for all of them right now. Now usually you know exactly what one you're going to download, so if you start typing the name, I'll download, like, here's one I'm familiar with, Beautiful Scraper right here. Just select its name and hit install package, and then just sit back and relax. That's what's awesome about PyCharm. This entire thing is built in. The entire module was just installed, and whenever we want to use it, we can just import it right like this. And of course, if you accidentally downloaded one by accident, or you were playing around with it and figured out you didn't need it, File, Settings, the interpreter, and then just select it and hit this minus sign, and that'll uninstall it basically. So pretty cool. But now back to the tutorial. So again, I'm just going to build a real simple function to go to some website, download the image. So def download web image, and the only parameter that's going to take is just the URL of the image, of course. So the first thing I want to do is I want to generate that random number just like we did in the last tutorial. So this is going to be the name, so I'm going to store it as the variable name. And of course, if you remember, random dot rand range, and I'll just say 1 to 1000. So all of the images that we download are going to be like 256.jpg, like 16.jpg, so on and so forth. And this is not the best way, but for this example, it'll be simple enough to follow along. So now what I want to do is, whenever I download it, of course, it's just going to be stored as a number right here. And obviously what I want to do is add that JPEG extension on the end, so my computer knows that it is indeed a JPEG image. So full name will be the full file name, and of course we take that name, which is a random number 1 to 1000, and what we're going to do is we're going to add on the .jpeg extension. Now remember, before I said that Python doesn't really like when you take a number and add it to a string, so we need to convert this name variable to a string, and in order to do that, just put str, and this is a really simple function that takes a number and converts it into a string. So now we're working with the same data type. Now the full name would be something like 500.jpg. So the only other thing we need to do, one more line of code in this function, is download the image. And of course, that's where we imported this. So in order to use anything from this module, type the name of the module, which is URL lib.request, and the function is called URL retrieve. Now if you see, it's going to take a couple parameters here. The first one is the URL of the website that you're going to be downloading it from. Pretty much it's like going to be http buckysroom.org/buckysface.jpg, something like that. So we're going to be passing it in the function, so that's what the URL is. And the second parameter it takes is, whenever we save this or download it and save it to your computer, what do you want to name the file? Well, that's why we created this right here. So download this image and save it as this on our computer. So that's all this function is doing right here. So now what we have to do is just write download web image, and we need to pass it in a URL of some JPEG on the internet. So actually, if you just go to any site, then I'm not going to show you how to do that, but it's all the same. But don't go to like a random site and say, hey, Bucky told me to do this, because it's probably against their terms of service. But if you just want to practice, then you can just go to Bucky's room, find one of my images. I'm on my profile right now. Click view all photos, and let's find a dumb one to down. Oh, this is pretty dumb. Alright, so of course, in order to get the URL of this, you can just right click it and hit copy image URL, and of course this pretty much is the URL of the image on the internet. So now, back in our program, what we can do is remember to pass it in as a string. What we're saying is basically download this image. So it's going to download it, give it a random file name, and then save it to our computer. Now, it's going to download in the same directory as our program's running. So check this out. This is my main project, YouTube, and this was the module from the last tutorial, and this is where the program is going to run. So right now we only have two files, main and tuna, but after we get done running this, we're also going to have an extra JPEG in here. So keep your eyes on this while I run it. So check it out. You see how it just said 286, a new file just popped up? We'll double click that, and boom. Pretty sweet. We just downloaded an image purely through Python programming. So just imagine the power of this. We can download a crap load of images in the snap of a finger if we only knew how to write a simple web crawler. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we had to look forward to in the next tutorial. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.